Hey guys, have you ever seen a vision board? Well, I'm gonna show you my vision wall. I'm so excited. For 2025, I've decided to really focus on some goals and some inspirations. So I wanted to do a vision board. Then I decided, because I was redoing my office, I would make my wall a vision wall. So then we decided, well, let's make a foam vision wall. So here we go. We have constructed this insulation foam board just like we do our shower panels. And now I'm going to pour a very, very subtle marble because I want to be able to write with a dry erase marker and be able to see. So I don't want any really loud designs popping out. All right, so you guys stay tuned. Here goes. Okay, so I have poured out right at 200 ounces of epoxy. And I've tinted the white, kind of a light beige color. I didn't want a super bright white. I wanted to kind of be a really soft brown, I guess. So I did that. Then I'm gonna come in with 2 different shades of my gray, and then just a bucket of clear with diamond dust in it. We're doing 4 ounces per square foot. We are using the regular art coat epoxy on this. And like I said, I just want it to be a very soft meld. So help me decide, guys. What all am I gonna put on my board? I know I'm gonna have a place to write down some goals, both short-term and long-term goals. What else have you guys seen on vision boards? I would really like to know. I've never done one, so I'm hoping this is gonna help me bring some of my goals and my visions to light this year. If any of you guys have a vision board, what did you put on yours? How did you do it? Did you just use cutouts of magazine pictures? Did you write down your goals, short and long term? How did you guys do yours? I'd love to see them. So those of you that are new and don't know me, my name is Rhonda Draculis. I've been doing resin, going on probably 10 years. We teach classes, both the 101 beginner level as well as teach professionals or teach people how to actually do this professionally. We specialize in countertops and shower panels. We also do flooring. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I want it to be very subtle. All right, here we go. Now, some of you have maybe seen us do like the rolling stone technique on countertops. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. And you noticed I did not tape my edges. I'm not doing so much resin that I'm worried about it really coming off. Now I am melding it a lot more than I would if I were doing a countertop because I do want this to be super soft. All right, so guys, I'm noticing right off the bat that I really don't like that brown. It kind of turned pink on me. So I'm gonna see if this is gonna work. Now you'll know one thing about me, I like to try lots of fun things. Now I'm adding a little bit of that white dye directly into the resin, but it is super important that you mix that because if you just leave it sitting on top, it'll never really dry and you'll have it rub off on your hands once the epoxy sort of sets up. So you'll notice I kind of have a flow going almost at a 45 degree. I never really want to do a marble where I'm going straight up and down on the substrate. I want to have more of a flow. Makes it look a little more natural. So you'll notice, guys, I'm not using anything fancy. All this is a 9-inch roller. And you'll also notice that I'm not just rolling it. I'm kind of pushing the epoxy around. If I were to just roll this back and forth, I would get a really muddy design. And that's what I'm kind of trying to avoid, yet I'm still trying to get it to have a soft meld to it. Now this is not the flooring epoxy. This is the regular art coat. I could have very easily gone with a flooring epoxy on something this big and it absolutely would have worked. I would have had probably a little bit more open time with it, but I didn't. How about that? All right, so wherever I see big amounts of that resin, I'm just kind of dragging it out. Again, I'm trying not to over meld. I want there to be distinctions in my colors. So guys, what did you do this past year, 2024, that was a little out of the box? Not your typical pour or your typical project. Something that really sticks out in your mind that maybe challenged you a little bit, that made you kind of go against the grain, do things a little different. Let me know in those comments. Now, I'm not worried about my edges because we're probably going to end up cutting about 1/8 of an inch off of these edges. So as far as what they look like, I'm not worried about that at all. All right, now it's starting to kind of come together a little bit better. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over the top with my Fusion Relax spray. What this does is pop bubbles without heat. One of my very, very favorite new products, and it lays the epoxy out like glass. Literally relaxes it, and it just is fabulous. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like on my wall. Now, I'm gonna have 2 countertops come down on each side. So I think what I'm probably gonna do, so that I kind of bring this design into my countertops, is I'm gonna be a little bolder, use the same technique, but I'm gonna be a little bit bolder on my countertops. So maybe a little bit more contrast of my grays. What do y'all think? What do y'all think I should do? Should I do a solid color gray or melding just with the grays and don't add any white? Let me know in the comments, what would you guys do? All right, guys, we'll let this cure overnight and we will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so the pour is done and we now went to applying the vinyl letters. I knew I wanted to have my saying up there because that really does mean a lot to me, and it sort of embodies everything that I believe in and why I do what I do. So Leslie cut out all of the letters on our Cricut and we applied them. I was going to pour a flood coat over this entire piece, but then I got to thinking if I ever wanted to remove the vinyl, I wouldn't be able to do that. So this does not have a flood coat. There's no need for a flood coat. I'm gonna be just using this as my vision board, erasing and writing on it. So it's not a high traffic area. And that is going to allow me, if I ever want to remove that vinyl, I'm not bound to just that saying. If you guys have never done vinyl over epoxy, I have a really, really good video that I'll link in the description of this video that shows and gives you guys some really good tips. It's a very easy procedure, however, it does really matter, and I recommend you guys using some really good vinyl. Cheap vinyl is going to get bubbles and it's not easy to work with, so go ahead and spend those few extra pennies and get you some good vinyl. So I'm sure a few of you guys are asking, well, how did you even make this? What's it made of? How did you make this wall? Mitch kind of took that vision that I had and he made that wall for me, just like we fabricate all of our shower walls with the insulation foam board and the fiberglass mesh. I'll post a video as well in the description of this video that will show a step-by-step process in how to create these boards. Also, you'll notice in many of my videos, the wall behind me is also done with this exact process. So I will link that and you guys can check that out. But I really want to say thanks, Mitch. I had a lot going on and he really did kind of take the bull by the horns and make this wall and also installed it for me. And I'm so appreciative to him for that. All right, so the wall is up and what's next is I finish out my office, okay? So that's kind of what started this whole thing, is I wanted to redo my office. So I'm gonna have countertops come down each side of the wall. Now here's my dilemma. I don't know how I want to integrate the countertop and this wall. I know that my desk is constantly going to have clutter on it. That's just me. I know that's how it is. So I don't want anything super busy. So I'm a little worried that maybe this might be too busy, that I want to go with a little bit more of just a solid color maybe a little bit of marbling. So you guys let me know, should I come in here with just more of a solid color and just a little bit of that melding marble on these two pieces, or should I full send and do it just like this? So let me know in the comments below what you think. Okay, so a little bit about my wall. I'm a huge believer that your goals need to be written down. You need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then those goals are basically just big wishes. You need a plan and you need a roadmap on how you're going to achieve those goals. I also believe that when those goals are in your face every day and you see them, they're accountability, and you really have motivation to make them come true. I didn't get where I am by myself. I watch people every day do things that I want to do, and that motivates me. So by having this life-size vision board behind me, it's definitely in my face. So let me kind of tell you how I'm going to do this. First of all, the most important, and that's why it's in the middle, is this is my heart. Okay, these, I have more pictures, my mom and my dad and special friends. Obviously I haven't gotten them all put up here yet, but this is my heart, and it's in the middle of the whole board because that's what I want to see first. These are my family, my daughters and their husbands, and a very old picture of Kitty and I. I love this picture. And then I got my pups. So got some horses and some other pets that I'm gonna put here. But like I said, everything that goes on this board is very intentional. It's not just cutting stuff out and sticking it on here. But your board can be whatever you want your board to be. Now, next I have my inspirations, and this is gonna be huge because I've only got 2 pictures right now, but this is gonna be huge. And these are people that inspire me, things that inspire me, events that inspire me. That's what's gonna go under here. These 2 people right here, especially this person right here, Kay Blanford. I've known her for years and years and years, and she's probably motivated me and so many other people that she doesn't even realize how many people she's motivated. She has been rodeoing her whole life, and she's a little older than me, and let me tell you, there's no one tougher in the industry, and she inspires me every day to know that I can overcome all of my injuries and my surgeries, and I can get back to competing and doing what I love. So seeing that, same thing with Donna. She's the same way. She just went to the national finals rodeo. She was injured this past year, but she just got back, and she's just tough. And these women like that inspire the hell out of me. I'll just want to tell you that because I've had my share of injuries. So the rest of this will be a house that we want to build one day. I want to start putting floor plans together, things that I see that I like, people in the industry that inspire me, people in business just in general that inspire me. I want to go on this portion of the wall, and those things can change. Inspirations can change, so that's why I'm just taping them up there, because I'll be taking them, down and putting more up as I go through the year. And then the last thing are my actual goals. And I love to be able to write it with these dry erase pens, because I can come back in here, I can change it, I can rearrange them, I could do all of that. But these are what I really want to hit in 2025. And obviously I'll keep adding on to those. And these are some of my short-term obtainable goals that I see maybe happening in 25, but I'm also going to be coming in here with maybe a 5-year plan and putting what does that 5-year plan look like. But again, guys, if you do a vision board, it's yours. It's your vision. It's no one else's. And it can be very private. Obviously, people are going to see my board, but don't be scared to do one that's very private for you only, because that's what it's for. It's your vision. So guys, I would love to challenge you. If you don't mind, step out of your comfort zone a little bit and leave me a comment of a goal that you want to achieve in 2025. Really think about that, because once you put it out there, I'm gonna hold you accountable. Just like I want you to hold me accountable, especially for this one right here. My goal is to be back in the saddle, not just riding, but competitively. And I want you guys to hold me to that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. This is kind of thinking out of the box. I hope I inspired you to think out of the box, and I would love to see what you create. Also, I would love for you to check out our class schedule if you are looking at doing something like this, either DIY or doing epoxy professionally. We've got the class for you. And most importantly, remember, don't be scared, move forward and be creative. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.